see.
Well, kind of getting into y'all's background, I want to kind of give the viewers a little information about how you started. So I'd like to start with Tom. Maybe what kind of inspired you to first pick up the guitar?
Well, the Beatles.
Okay.
Actually, originally I wanted to be Davy Jones from the Monkees. So on my 7th birthday, my parents gave me a tambourine. So
interesting. Yeah.
So I played the tambourine first.
Okay.
But on my 9th birthday, I got a guitar, and they signed me up for guitar lessons, and it was a bit of a slog. It was a bit of a chore to do Alfred's basic guitar method. But I learned to read.
Yeah.
So I'm 9 years old, 10 years old, learning to read. When I was 13, I was still taking lessons. I was starting to get into it, and I was writing music literally on music paper. And my parents had gotten divorced, and I went to my dad's. He had one of those sad dad apartment, bachelor pads, just furniture, no paintings, just a TV and a sofa kind of thing. It was like depressing. And I went over there with my guitar, and I started playing him the song that I wrote. And I had the music in front of me, and I'm kind of reading, and it was kind of like, you wouldn't know this, but Funny Little Man by Seals and Crofts. But it was kind of a fingerstyle in D kind of thing. I think it was probably, I can play it.
Absolutely.
It was something like,
Okay.
And I'd written it out on paper. That's trademark, by the way. And my dad said, "You wrote that?" And my dad was a drummer in college. And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, I wrote it." And he goes, "No, I mean, you wrote that music on paper?" And he was blown away by that.
Wow.
And for a young boy, having your dad give you an affirmation like that kind of sets your course at that point.
Wow.
And it was at that point that I just like really poured into guitar.
Sure.
And I started getting into Zeppelin and then more deeply into the Beatles. And then when I was 15, I got a subscription to Guitar Player magazine. And every month there was an article at the back called Studio Log by Tommy Tedesco.
The best.
Who was the part of the Wrecking Crew. And it had a little picture of a session like chart. And I went, I got my guitar out and I said, I can play that. And I was like, wow, that sounds like a job for me, because it was like $100 for 3 hours. Minimum wage at the time was like $2.50.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, $2.50. So that was the thing that kind of made a kid from Indiana think about Los Angeles. And then pretty much everything I did, anything I could do that would get me there.
Okay, gotcha. Where are you from initially?
Indiana.
Indiana, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so goal to get to LA.
Goal. And boy, when I came out, right after I turned 21, I flew out here and stayed with some not friends, but friends of friends in Riverside.
Sure.
And I had a rent-a-car, and I drove every day to like Santa Monica, and I went to all these clubs that don't exist anymore. There was a place called At My Place in Santa Monica. There was Dante's on Lankershim. Baked Potato, which is still there. I went there.
Of course, classic.
And I mean, I fell in love with California. I went to Guitar Center, in Hollywood.
Sure.
In the palm trees on Sunset, and you're like, when you're a boy from Indiana, it's like, forget about it. Wow. It's over.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And this would have been 83. That was 82, actually.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I moved out.
Yeah. Wow. What a story, man. That's pretty incredible. So, Alex, did your dad kind of inspire you to start picking up guitar? Is that your story? So similar with father, son? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, it was always around. My crib was in his studio, and I just heard guitar. And my story is super different in that I don't remember a time when I didn't know how to play guitar.
Oh, it's just always been part of it.
It was just like, I had a guitar I was playing by the time I was 5. So it was like, I don't really have a ton of memories where I was like struggling to learn this thing. It was just like, no, I just know how to play, which is what makes me a terrible teacher. Because I'm just like, I don't know how I learned it. I was 5. That was years ago.
Figure it out, yeah.
Yeah, just figure it out. Don't you just know how to do it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started doing that, grew up playing in church, because he always played in church, so it was like, and then going, and I was homeschooled, so I would get up at 6 a.m., get all my schoolwork done by noon, because I had a little book, I knew what I needed to do, got it all done, and then I would either play guitar, or I would go with him to sessions. I'd help him load the car, I'd help him tune guitars, change strings.
Wow. So you were witnessing these sessions before you've been playing them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so I was in sessions at like 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way through high school. I would just follow you.
As soon as you could, you set up a studio in your bedroom.
Yeah, as soon as I had a computer and an interface, I was recording.
So what age did you start doing them yourself?
Doing sessions myself? Probably around 16 or 17. I started like my first early sessions.
Wow.
Obviously didn't pick up for a couple years after that,
Sure.
where it's like, okay, now I'm actually working.
You're doing it, yeah.
I've done some early preliminary kind of like, oh, that's a session.
That's incredible.
So, pretty fun.